The Standard Manufacturing HPX 1911. Let's check it out. Standard Manufacturing is based out of New Britain, Connecticut, and they're the sister company to Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company. Standard Manufacturing has only been around since 2014, but their shotgun division has been around for a long time, making really high-quality shotguns. These guys are making high-quality single-action revolvers in the Colt style, but also 1911s. Today we're going to take a look at one of their 1911s, the HPX, which is High Performance Extreme. This is a really quality 1911. And guys, there are a plethora of 1911s in different companies making them. We're going to talk about some of the features with this 1911 that kind of sets it apart. And guys, it's really in that mid-tier price range, and yet there are some quality features that really up the game. You've probably heard of Standard because of the DP12, which is a double-barrel 12-gauge pump shotgun. And we've done a review on it. I'll have it annotated above. And while I thought, honestly, it was a gimmick, that is a really good quality shotgun. And then the Thunderstruck, which is just a unique firearm in itself. And so Standard Manufacturing has a pretty extensive line of different type firearms. Now, actually, when I got the DP12 to do the review, I saw their 1911s and I was really curious. And so I was glad when they got in touch and wanted me to check it out, do a review, show you guys what these are all about. Guys, Standard Manufacturing offers a number of different models. In fact, I was really surprised at some of the custom features that they do offer. This is the HPX, which is for High Performance Extreme. And it has a matte finish to it. It's got a lot of features on it that I personally like on a 1911. They have a government 1911 A1. They have a high polished blue version that's absolutely beautiful. They do engraved 1911s. They also do a case color hardened 1911. And really what that speaks about the company is that they can do a lot of different things that really bring this out, and it takes true craftsmanship. This is in 45 ACP, and let's go ahead and check to make sure the gun's unloaded. We're going to drop our 7-round magazine. That's the traditional. Of course, a lot are going to 8-round, and the chamber is empty. Now, of course, you see that the barrel is a stainless steel barrel, and it is a match grade barrel. We'll look at the bushing setup in a minute. And then, of course, your hammer is a skeletonized commander style hammer. Really nice high-ride beaver tail with memory notch. And we have a flat mainspring housing. But look at the checkering on that mainspring housing. I mean, it is beautiful. It's metal. A lot of times, a lot of companies, even fairly well-known companies, will put polymer mainspring housings on here. The metal, to me, is superior. And then the checkering on the front is just beautiful. It's one of the things about these pistols. I have an old government 1911 Colt, a 70 series, and it's just that slick front. This really gives you a lot of gripability. Now, one of the things about gripping a pistol is that front and back strap are the most important to your grip. And so that's really where the rubber meets the road. I mean, the grips are fine, and these are G10 honeycomb type styling, and they have the diamond pattern in here as well. Beautiful grips. But the big thing is that front and back serrations. Now the frame and the slide are CNC milled from forgings, and so this is a forged pistol. and that will give you a lot more strength and definitely from castings. And the slide and frame material are 4140 carbon steel. I really like the serration pattern. It's wide, but it's easy to grip. It's not super deep, but it doesn't need to be. I mean, it just grips to your thumb. And then, of course, the front cocking serrations for those press checks makes it really easy. And we have Novak style rear sight, and it is 3-dot. And the front sight is dovetailed in, and it does sit up a little bit higher, and it allows you to line up with those sights. The finish is kind of a matte blued finish, but yet it's smooth. It's not a Parkerized finish, so it's not that really rough anodized type finish. I really like that smoothness, and it gives it that matte look to it. So this is really more toward a tactical 1911. Made for the range, made for self-defense, not necessarily a showboat. Here we have a Commander style hammer that is skeletonized. Really large safety. So we'll pull the hammer back, engage our safety, and you get a nice gas pedal. You can take your thumb, ride that safety, or with the notch in the grip, you can fire it this way as well. And one of the things about these pistols is they are single action. And what single action means, and we're going to drop the hammer, is that if you grip it and you pull the trigger, it's not going to fire. And it does not actuate the hammer. It just trips the sear. So when you rack the slide, it brings the hammer back. So you load one in the chamber and then throw up that safety. Now it's cocked and locked. It's safe to carry this way, and then when you're ready to fire, you just drop it. But one of the things about this and all 1911s is you have your grip safety, which acts as a passive safety. If I have my frame safety down and then I pull the trigger, it's not going to fire unless I'm depressing my grip safety. And so really 1911s are very safe to carry. And again, some people don't like grip safeties. There are some companies, in fact, Springfield Armory offers their XD series and XDM, and it has a small grip safety. But honestly, it's very passive. So if you're reholstering this gun and you don't put a lot of pressure on that safety, it's really safe to be able to reinsert into a holster. And this is part of what the U.S. military required back in 1911. There is a slight bevel at the magazine well, and the ejection port has been flared and lowered, and this will allow you to shoot jacketed hollow points or self-defense ammunition. So one of the things, the original 1911s, they weren't lowered and flared, and they would shoot ball all day long, but if you put some jacketed hollow points in there, it could have some reliability issues. One thing I will say about this pistol is we did take it to the range. We shot about 500 rounds through it. The only malfunction we had was the magazine a couple of times didn't keep the slide open. And that was the only thing we had. But otherwise, this thing was flawless. And guys, I'm going to tell you, one of the things about these pistols with Standard is they hand fit the slide to the frame. Now, one of the things about a really tight slide to frame fit is that it can affect reliability. If it's too tight, it can drag. And so these are set to be that perfect level to help with accuracy and yet to keep it reliable. Sometimes you'll have 1911s that have a lot of slop in them, and that'll make them super reliable, but they won't be that accurate. There is no movement at all, or at least no perceivable movement. When it comes to the front and the barrel, no movement between the barrel and the barrel bushing. When you take the frame, you get just a tiny bit of movement. It's very little. And so that really, again, allows for really good accuracy. It has a 5-inch barrel, which is typical for your 1911 government models, and it is a stainless steel match barrel, and it's fit to the bushing. Let's check the trigger pull action. With 1911s, they have exceptional trigger pulls. So we have just a little bit of take up here and a nice crisp break. Reset right there. All right, check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 3 pounds, 14.2 ounces. 3 pounds, 13.4 ounces. Weight on the 1911 HPX. 2 pounds, 9.2 ounces. I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA. #1 supplier of ammunition in the country. I'll tell you guys, we've been shooting a lot of Fiocchi for a number of years now, and it's just good quality ammunition. 7-round magazine that comes with the Standard Manufacturing 1911s, but we do have some Wilson Combat mags that are 8 rounds. There's a lot of guys that get into the entry-level 1911s, but when you pick up something that's that more mid-tier to a little bit upper tier, there's a lot of advantages. The checkering on the front strap is big. All metal, the rear flat strap on the mainspring housing that is metal as well. Forged steel slide. I love these serrations. They're wide enough, they're easy to grab, and yet they're not too obtrusive. The sights, Novak style sights, and just really easy to pick up. Magazine just slides in. I mean, that's smooth. And so we're gonna go ahead and just take a few shots. Now it does have that safety on the side that gives me a little bit of what they call a gas pedal. So it lets me to kind of get a little more recoil management. One thing is, when I first started, the way I had my thumb, it was kind of biting into my thumb a little bit, but I could still shoot it easily enough without engaging the safety, with it, the thumb down on the grip. And with that little grip notch, it makes it really nice. But just a smooth shooting 1911. Standard Manufacturing, again, is known for its quality shotguns. They're single action revolvers, and definitely they're 1911s. We've had no malfunctions. We've put about 300 rounds through this so far. We've still got some shooting to do. The only problem we've had is with the Standard Manufacturing magazine. We have had it a couple of times for the slide not to come back. Wilson Combat mags are working great. But overall, just a great 1911, that mid-tier. And guys, honestly, if you're going to get into a 1911, I highly suggest getting something in this price range, in this quality. Now for disassembly, drop your magazine, check the chamber, make sure the gun's unloaded. First thing I like to do is to bring my barrel bushing up and turn it. So I push down on my plug, turn the barrel bushing counterclockwise to about 9 o'clock, and this is under spring tension, so be careful when you're releasing it. Then turn that barrel bushing back to about 4 o'clock and then pull it out. You can see that it is a solid barrel bushing. Now you want to bring your slide back to that first notch for your slide stop, and it's right there. And then we're going to push from the other side, and then we can just pull out our slide stop. Now the recoil spring is fit to the guide rod, so we're just going to go ahead and pull out the recoil spring, and then we'll pull off our guide rod. And then drop your barrel link and just pull your barrel out the front of the slide. While this is not like your striker fire polymer frame pistols, you get used to it. It's really just the way that most of us have learned how to take down firearms, but it's not really that difficult. Let's go ahead and look at the interior of the frame. I mean, it's very well done, no tooling marks. One thing I did notice when I was pulling the slide off the frame is how smooth it fits. Everything is really tight on this firearm. And then, of course, the inside looks really nice. So we've shot this quite a bit. I haven't cleaned it. Of course, you have the barrel and stainless steel matched barrel. And of course the barrel bushing. And that's one of the things that fits, and it's toward the end here. It has a really nice solid fit, but it's not super tight to get into the way of reliability. And that's one of the big problems. If you have really tight tolerances, it can affect reliability. Reassembly is just in reverse order. We're going to drop in our barrel, making sure that barrel link is in the down position. And then I'm going to lift it back up, bring off my guide rod, recoil spring, bring the slide over the frame. Now we're going to line it up again with that notch. You want to make sure that your link is lined up so you can drop in your slide stop. Now one thing you want to be careful is don't bring this slide stop up, because it will do what we call the idiot scratch, and you'll scratch your frame. And so we're going to take it and get it kind of close, and then just pop it into place like that. Go forward, Barrel bushing goes back on at that 4 o'clock position, and then turn it to the 9 o'clock position. Now we're going to take our plug, we're going to bring it down, keep it depressed, and bring around your barrel bushing, and it'll lock into place like that. And we're back in business. Now it comes in just a black box. In the top there is a Standard Manufacturing Company logo. Of course, you get the firearm, you get a magazine, 7 rounds, you get your lock. You do get this sock. It's actually pretty nice to protect it. Also included is a silicone rag, and this thing looks pretty full. So you could use this to keep it clean. Owner's manual, and I thought this was pretty interesting. This gun has been thoroughly inspected before packaging in our facility. We guarantee that this gun is in perfect condition, no blemishes, scratches whatsoever. And it says that this gun left our facilities with no imperfections. So guys, there's a lot of 1911s out on the market, so why choose Standard Manufacturing? First off, it has a pedigree for the shotguns. The Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company really has produced really high quality firearms. And just extending that line into single action revolvers and then also with 1911s. But I think one of the big things about this is the attention to detail. First off, these are hand fitted. They're not, just on a production line going through with minimum tolerances. And so you're going to have a really good quality fit and finish on the gun. Also, custom serial numbers. You can get other custom features actually made to order. I think that's a big indication of the quality that these guys are putting out. Of course, a number of different models, including case color hardening, full Damascus, engraving. They just offer a lot of things. And so it's just one of those type firearms that is heirloom quality, which I think is great. It's not coming in at Wilson Combat or Nighthawk type prices. And the MSRP is coming in at $1,290. Of course, market price is going to be a little bit less. To me, with that kind of price point, I mean, this is a great mid-tier price for an upper-tier firearm. So guys, if you love 1911s or you're wanting to get into a good quality 1911 that won't break the bank, check out Standard Manufacturing. I mean, they are putting together some really high quality firearms. And again, we really appreciate Standard Manufacturing for sending the HPX 1911 in 45 ACP for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Guide rod. Oh. Be strong, be of good courage. With the HPX 1911 from Standard. Quiet to 9 o'clock and slowly. Oh. And the facility is almost 500,000 square feet. I mean, it is a pretty major deal, and I don't know why I'm going in all that bull crap. I mean, they have so many different guns, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy.